My how to get hired at the Apple Store videos are some of the most popular videos on my entire channel. But I thought I had covered every single thing I could cover in that general space. So I haven't made any for a while. But recently something happened. Someone reached out to me and said, "Hey Ben, I just interviewed with Apple and I got some questions that you hadn't answered." And I thought to myself, I cannot, in good conscience, not make another video teaching you all how to answer these newest Apple Store interview questions so you can nail your interview, get the job, get hired, and be super happy. So in today's video, I'm going to do a brand new Apple Store interview question and answer video teaching you how to answer these questions. Let's go. So the first question is, what interests you in Apple? That was a question this candidate was asked, and whenever you were asked this question, I don't want you to hear, why are you interested in Apple? I want you to hear, why are you interested in this job with Apple, okay? And the way I want you to answer this question is I want you to use the 50-50 rule. Now the 50-50 rule means the first 50% of your answer needs to be about the brand, the store, what is it about the organization you find appealing, attractive, compelling, etc. And the second 50%, that needs to be about why you're a good fit for this job right now. So you want to start by answering their question and finish by telling them why you would be a great candidate for this job. That's the best way to answer this question. So you want to start talking about how you've always loved the brand. You're like a big fan of their products. You've always used their products and you just love them. You feel they are the best, etc. Right? Or you want to talk about the brand's values. Why do the values of Apple match your value system? And you want to talk about, go to their website, pick a value that resonates with you. Why does that value really hit home for you? How do you have that in common? Or maybe you want to talk about the way they do, their marketing, or the way they help customers when they come into the store. What is the experience you've experienced as a consumer? And you want to replicate that, giving that to other people, because whenever you felt it, you came in, you felt like you were helped, you were seen, etc. So pick something about the organization, the brand that really motivates you. They do a lot, in philanthropy. They do a lot in environmental, responsibility. Just find something with a company that resonates. First 50% about your answer needs to be about that. The second 50%, talk about why you'd be a good fit. Maybe it's you have customer service experience. Maybe you are highly technical and you can explain things to people in a way that's going to allow them to understand the benefits. Pick something from your background that would allow you to succeed in this role. That's how you answer this question. Let's go to the next. Now, the next three questions are actual behavioral interview questions. Now, behavioral interview questions are essentially a question in which they ask you to recall a previous time in your career and walk them through how you handled a specific situation. They do that because past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. So a question might sound like, give me an example of a time when, or describe a time when, or tell me a story about a time when. What you're looking for here is that time when. Any question that basically forces you to recall a previous thing that happened and walk them through how you handled it. Now, when you do this, you want to use the STAR method. That's an acronym. It stands for situation, task, action, result. What was the situation you were in? So where were you working? What was your role? Task. What was the specific thing that was going on that was happening? Action. How did you respond to this? What is the action you took to remedy the situation, fix something, whatever it is? And the result, what was the outcome? At the end of all this, how did it end up? And all the next three questions, you want to use the STAR method. So let's get into them. Now the first one is, describe a time where you almost lost a customer, but you were able to get them back. Okay, so this is a good question, right? It's tell me about a time where something almost went south with a customer, but you were able to fix it. So situation, where were you working? Task, you had a customer, you almost lost them because ideally it's not something you did. It's a circumstance outside of your control that caused them to be dissatisfied with their current experience. Action. What did you do to fix it? This is the money part of the question, right? How did you take this customer who's maybe upset because you didn't have a product in store they were expecting to have, and how did you make it okay, listen to them, and then show them another product that could serve their needs, and they ended up happy, and then our result. What was the outcome? How did they end up happy? They were thrilled, etc., whatever. So I can give you an example on how to answer this because it's got to be something from your past. But you want to be enthusiastic. You want to talk about a situation in which they were unhappy, ideally something you did not cause. You want to show them how you went above and beyond to remedy the situation for the customer, and ideally they leave happy. That's how you do it. This next question is, describe a time where you took an experimental approach to get something done. This is a really interesting question because what they're asking for here is, give me an example of a time you thought outside the box to get something done. So when you're answering this, use the STAR method. You want to do an example in which you thought it truly needs to be outside the box. It's a solution that is not typically deployed for whatever the problem was. So make sure it was truly out of the box while not being dangerous or irresponsible. And then talk about how you communicated that to your boss, how you won, you ended up with a really great outcome because you tried something different. And if you can do something in which you tried a different outside the box solution to end up helping a customer, and it ended with a customer feeling really happy and satisfied with their interaction with you, that's even better. So if you can find a story like that from your past, that's how you nail it. This next question is incredibly common for a behavioral interview question, and it's, tell me about a time you went above and beyond. Now, there are 2 ways that candidates do not get this right. Well, 3 ways. 1, they don't have an example. If you don't have an example, you can't get it right. 2, they don't use the STAR method. If you don't use the STAR method, you might leave out details. Using the STAR method allows you to walk them through an example that truly includes all the necessary details. That's the whole point of it. And 3, the third way they get it wrong is they give an example that is not above and beyond. I'm in recruitment. If I had a hard role to fill, but I filled the role, that's great. It's not above and beyond. I'm doing my job. Your example needs to exist outside the scope of your job description. And if you can find a great story outside of your job description and how you help someone, and you tell that story using the STAR method, and you're enthusiastic because you care about helping customers, they can feel that in your answer. They can tell that you really care about this. It mattered to you to make sure you made the situation good for them. That is how you do it. And if you can answer it like that, you are absolutely going to nail it. Now, I also need you to know there are questions that get asked in just about every interview, including Apple, but also other companies. And I want to direct you to this video because this video here is some of the most common questions you will get asked in every interview for the rest of your life. And I teach you how to answer it. So go watch this video next.